University of Pittsburgh. There's Kathy. There's Heinz Chapel. This is pretty much the center ground for Pitt's campus. You have a lot of activities out here on the green. You have the cars on the street you're looking at right now. That's 5th Avenue. It's a one-way road. You've got buses from the city that come in and stop all along that road. This is pretty much the central hub of campus. Over to my left, you've got lots of stores and shops if you keep going that way. And if you go down 5th, you get to most of the campus's buildings. And then up above me to my right is Cardiac Hill. We'll get to that later. So I'm at Kathy. I'm on the lawn. As you can see, there are a lot of different paths that go up to Heinz Chapel and Kathy. And you can walk these. There are a lot of people out in the spring and summertime and even fall where you've got hammocks across these trees, people playing football on the grass, studying out here and having a good time. So it's a great place to sit down, relax in the center of campus. Heinz Chapel. Pretty awesome. You can go inside. They hold concerts in here, pre-COVID. They have tours. You can check out their programming online. One of the spots that's actually not as well known is this spot right next to Heinz Chapel. Right now it's closed for the winter, but in the summertime they open it up and there's a fountain right in the middle and you have lots of benches and these flowers are in bloom. It's a really nice spot to catch your breath and take a break. Okay. So here we have them on the sort of the south side of Kathy, and I'm actually in front of the Carnegie Museum. There's art and natural history in here. The entrance is underneath these trees. There's a little roundabout you can go into. But it's a pretty awesome museum, and Pitt students get in for free here. So you guys just need to flash your ID and they'll let you in, and you can go tour the museum as long as you like. The statue is outside the Carnegie Music Hall next to the museum, and one of the reasons I like it is because some people, it's not now, but they put googly eyes right on Shakespeare. This is Dippy the Diplodocus. She is the Diplodocus replica that is in the Carnegie Natural Museum of History, and she's amazing. We put scarves on her in the winter, though she doesn't have one now. She's got her mask, and you'll see different things up around her neck. Scarves, sometimes we have hats. She's pretty awesome. I'm walking up now to the Carnegie Library, which is free and open to the public. And these trees here I'm showing you because in the summer, and just when the weather's nice, you can put up hammocks here. It's really awesome because a lot of people come here to hang out. Next to me is Schenley Plaza, where you can go, and a lot of events are held there. And actually pretty large ones as well. Bernie Sanders had a rally here. There are some huge inflatable events that get put up and you can go walk through. Festivals, concerts, movies, things like that are all set up in Schenley Plaza. And then Schenley Park is a little ways away. I won't be showing you that today because it's actually over a bridge and through the woods and quite a long way away, but you can jog there easily. But a little bit outside of the scope of the video I'm making today. But here's the library. They currently are doing online pickup. So like you order it online, you pick it up, and then you can return it in a little drop box outside. They have a few limited hours, but ultimately you can go inside, and it's a fantastic resource. They have lots of computers inside. They have movies, music. Other than books, they have magazines, pretty much anything you can think of that a library would have. You can also take a tour of this building, which is really fascinating. Some really great people here, and it's a great place to go relax. You have a lot of study spaces and quiet hours and things like that, where it's just a great resource for the community, and I suggest you check it out. Okay, I'm out behind Schenley Plaza. You can see it in front of me there, and this is a fountain that's actually pretty cool to come visit. Of course, it's winterized now. It's sort of out of your way, and I've only gone to it probably less than 10 times in my time here at Pitt, but it's really cool. And a lot of people come here to throw pennies in the pond, and it's a nice spot to hang out at. Alright, so right now I'm sort of at the back corner of Schenley Plaza. There's Hillman Library. I'll be showing you that later. And this is Posvar Hall. It's pretty awesome. Inside you have a lot of classes. It's quite a big building. You have a computer lab in there, printers, lots of offices, and so you're guaranteed to have a class in here during your stay at Pitt, almost guaranteed, as far as I know. The study spaces in here are awesome, but they're almost always taken. There's an Einstein's Bagels in here, but the line is almost always full, so if you're looking to come here to hang out, this probably isn't actually the spot for you unless you have a class in here and you want to go find a spot near the wall or on a bench on the upper floors. But it's a huge building and it's really fun to explore. Okay, like I said, that's Hillman. This is Posvar on my left, and then this in the middle is a really nice space for, you can see you've got lots of green area, there's some benches over there, great spot to eat lunch, and this leads you through the buildings without having to go out onto the corner again and walk all the way down. So this cuts you out to a street that connects to Forbes, so oftentimes I use this as a shortcut to get through, and it's a really nice place. The trees bloom in the spring, so and there's a nice yellow statue in the middle. You can sort of see it in the distance there. And that's a fun thing to hang around. Here's a picture of the Urban Gaming Club officers standing by it. It's pretty wicked, but so this will be a space to cut through to Posvar, to cut over to Hillman, just really go between, but a lovely space. Okay, so this is Hillman Library. This is sort of a side front entrance. It's got two entrances, but this one down here is the only one you can enter during COVID times. You have to go in, take your ID, you have to get a temperature scan for all of the buildings you go into. This one not an exception here. But they have open computer labs. They have the Open Lab, which is actually a specialist in 3D printing. They have VR in there. That's what introduced me to VR. They have specialist equipment for printing. You can rent out battery packs here. They've got a wealth of resources, not just books and textbooks, but also computer resources, technology resources as well. So you guys want to check this out. They also have librarians in there that are going to help you out as much as they can for any of your projects, and they are extremely valuable. You use them for your classes at least once or twice. They'll come in and talk to you. Okay, so I'm next to Kathy, and what you can see in front of me is the university bus, and that's actually a bus system that goes all around campus. And with the new addition in between Kathy and William Pitt Union, you can see there's an activated bus stop there, and you can go on and you just have to show them your ID technically, but nobody ever looked. Over here is the William Pitt Union. You have the Office of Clubs and Recreational Things. They're called Source. In there you also have some study spots. You have classes for yoga when COVID isn't a thing. And then you have a cafe in the bottom here that you can go buy lunch at. Across the street is Soldiers and Sailors. That's actually a museum. It was dedicated to Civil War soldiers. You can go there, it's free with your Pitt ID. And you can go in, there are some events that are hosted there as well. And in the summertime, when the weather's nice, you can go sit on the lawn and do things. So a really nice place to relax and play Frisbee with your friends. Next to Soldiers and Sailors, over here this is actually Nordenberg Hall, but right next to it, or actually in the building on the top right, is the Student Health Center. So that's where you go if you want to check up. That's also where the Mental Health Center is, and up towards the top of the street, if you go up, that's where the engineering buildings are. The chemistry building is also up there. So a lot of buildings on that top street behind Soldiers and Sailors. You'll find more academic buildings, but I'm gonna keep going down 5th Avenue. We'll see what's down here. This is the quad. It goes in between one of the university stores on my left, the official university store on the right, and a few dormitories up this way. If you go through here and to the right, you'll get to into the lobby for Towers. To the left is one of the lobbies for William Pitt Union, and a lot of times they host events here, as you can see with the tent. This is actually right now during COVID, this side entrance is the entrance to the university store, so if you want to get in, you can't go through the front, that's an exit, so you got to go through the side here through the quad. Currently I'm on Forbes Avenue. I'm right outside the staircase to get up to the Towers lobby, and as you can see, I'm right next to the Pitt Gear shop. That's where you can get all your official Pitt gear. There's also a corner store that you can go visit. They're down around Kathy as well. And there are a lot of shops on Forbes Not too many academic buildings on the right-hand side where I am, but a few on the left. Sorry for the noise. This is the entrance to Posvar Hall over here. Where we saw I'm sorry, that's David Lawrence. Posvar's in the back. They sort of come together. There's a bridge connecting them. Up here is the law building. And then this brick building up here, not too many people will go into. That's the computer science. It's used for computer science courses. It's called Senate Square. But a lot of things you'll find on this street are restaurants and shops. Mostly restaurants. There's really awesome stores. A few of them have closed down with COVID, but you've got some great options here for all walks of life. I'm standing here at the bottom of what's called Cardiac Hill. This leads from Lower Campus. Over here to my right, I'm standing on Forbes. There's towers. From Lower Campus all the way to Upper Campus. And really, if you don't live on Upper Campus, there's not too much to go see up there, but we'll go anyways. I need the exercise. On the left, this is the start to UPMC. It's a huge hospital complex that's right next to Pitt, and in fact, we partner with them, and they're a huge portion of our medical department. Is our partnership with them. But up here, we have lots of sports facilities and a few dorms. So let's take the walk up. Cardiac Hill, man. I'll tell you what. All right, ready? This is the peak. Woohoo! You gotta walk all the way up. There's no other way up other than the bus and some route that really takes you a lot longer. And this is where all our sports stuff happens. Got basketball, not football in here, but volleyball happens here a lot of the times. You've got gyms in here that are open to students, and you have food in here. So they've got a Chipotle, not a Chipotle, something like a Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, a sandwich shop, a sushi shop, really any food you want in here. You can go in here. Let's take a look. Don't take the stairs. Take the elevator. My legs are thanking me. All right. Pretty cool. All right. So as I ride the escalator, this will take you all the way to the top of campus. Now there is a way to walk here, but actually the best way is currently under construction. They're going to do an escalator all the way to the top of the hill, but it probably won't be completed for another few years, so I will see it when I graduate. But this is the best way if you don't want to kill your legs. You'll have a lot of freshman orientation programs here, like girls out on the lawn, which I'll show you. It's right next to the Pete. And Panther and Irvis Hall are up here, so is Sutherland, which is a freshman dorm. And they have a really awesome view of the Pete. Here is the food offered. And then actually what I'm going over top of right now is the Barrel Gym. And you can go in there with your Pitt ID and just work out. I think you have to, for all of the on-campus activities right now, you have to submit a request, like schedule the time, and that's online. You can do that. And as long as you don't abuse it, so you like abandon a request or a slot that you've tried to fill, you can go as many times as you want, I think, to pretty much all of the different recreation spots on campus. And most of those spots are at the top of the hill. All right, so I'm outside at the top of the Pete. What you're looking at right now is Panther and Irvis Hall. And those are really nice dorms. I lived in there once. They have lots of LLCs in there, living learning communities. And that's pretty much where a bunch of people who applied for it get to live together. There's not much more that they do other than that. Next to it is Sutherland Hall. That's a freshman honors dorm in there. There are lots of other LLCs as well. That's also where the Perch is, so that's equivalent to Market. You swipe in and you can literally hang out there all day when it's not COVID times. And they have some pretty good food. Their ice cream is a little bit better but less options, so hedge your bets there. It's also quieter. It's a smaller place to eat. If you're looking for quantity and different options, Market's your best place to go, but try out the Perch a few times. They surprised me. They have lots of different options that they swap out during the week. Okay, this building over here is where the swimming pool is held. Both of them. There are two basketball, racquetball courts. They also have a gym inside. They have dancing studios. They have gymnastics studios in there. They have so much in here that honestly I don't know what it all is. But this is Trees Hall at the top of the hill. This is really where all of your recreational sports and even professional sport training happens for our teams at Pitt. This is where it all takes place, and you can, oh, there's a rock climbing wall in there, which is awesome. So this is really where all the stuff goes down. And across the street is the smaller brother, Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. They have a basketball court in here, so they play volleyball. There's a track, and there's also a small gym in here. A lot of times this will be where teams train, and sometimes you'll have volleyball games in here as well. Now, you guys have to take a look at what games are going on when you're on campus, because a lot of times students get in either free or for $5 or something like that. Pretty awesome. Let's go take a look at the more extended versions of the sports facilities available on campus. Alright, y'all, I am at the very tippy top of the hill. Made it to the top of Cardiac Hill. Now, what I'm pointing you guys at right now is the Cost Center. It's pretty much a ginormous stadium. No seats, but there's a huge turf field inside. It's the equivalent of a professional soccer field. Normally they split it up into 3 with some nets that come down from the ceiling. A lot of times you'll come in here for activities or sports, and Urban Gaming Club should be hosting a few things in here this semester, so keep an eye out for that. But what I really brought us up here for, let me see if I can get you guys a view here. Yeah, there we go. That big hulking mass in the distance is UPMC Tower. On a clear day you can see the whole city, and it's a really lovely spot if you want to stop here after you've taken the climb, or if you want to take a nice photo. Another thing I wanted to mention is our sports fields are up here. What I'm pointing you at right now is the baseball field. Next to it in the back is the soccer field. And like I said before, you can go in with student tickets or even free because they want students to come and cheer on our teams. So this is where they practice and where they play when they're at home games. And it's called the Peterson Sports Complex. Not really any reason for a normal student to come up here, but I figured I'd show you anyways, because it's pretty cool. Alright, y'all, that's pretty much it. I've taken you all around campus. We didn't go into any buildings because of filming regulations. I particularly can't film in Hillman Library, and did not want to get the tap on the shoulder that says, hey, you can't film in here from any of the other buildings, so decided to take the outdoor tour today. However, for indoors, there's so much exploring you can do. There's a few tunnels that connect buildings, bridges, things like that. Most of them are offices and classrooms. Now, if you find an empty classroom, you can use it. And that is normally, and also with the COVID stance at Pitt, they allow you to use any empty classrooms you find. There are a few maker spaces on campus that you can go to if you schedule a time, and they will help you make things, build things, design things, what have you. Those are mostly in the engineering building, Benedum Hall, where I live most of the time. So the other academic buildings on campus always have study spaces and open spaces. There are 3 or 4 libraries across campus for students especially. Use their resources wisely. And as we say at the University of Pittsburgh, hail the Pitt.